So one of the biggest things, and I realize I say everything, I start each talk with so, but that's okay. All right, so one of the biggest things that I have learned that I struggle with is realizing that I don't have unlimited resources, and that I'm actually quite constrained in what I can do and what my abilities are. And this is a learning experience for me because I have been very much a person that has looked for ways to leverage what I do, and looking at the various different resources. And there's lots of looking at ways I can leverage each possible moment of my life, and looking at optimizing each possible moment, getting efficiencies, and trying to do better at everything, right? Like, I've got a certain amount of time to do this and blah, blah, all that kind of stuff, right? Like, very much that sort of organizing my life thing. But, there's two things that I've come to terms with. I can't do that. There is a lot of life that you can't do, and you need to have a lot of what is called slack resources, right? It's just available resources, so time, effort, all that kind of stuff that's sitting there for crap to happen. Crap happens, right? You need to be ready for that crap. You can't optimize your entire life. The other thing is coming to terms with, I do have limitations, right? These limitations are very real. That hit me really hard probably about 5 years ago now. And you might see it on the Reciprocity channel, the YouTube channel, where I sort of started thinking about this and transitioning. But I'm very much constrained in what I can do and what time I have available. I don't have unlimited resources at my disposal. And in fact, I probably have very little resources at my disposal. And so what I need to do is learn how to let go of some of these things, right? So learning how to let go of my life and being okay with it, and letting sort of chips fall where they may, right? Like, that is an important thing. That's part of having that slack resources, but also recognizing that crap happens, right? And the more that I've experienced life, the more that I realize that this is an important way to sort of bounce with things. And then the other thing to realize is, even though I want to do it myself, sometimes it's much better just to get somebody else to do it. Even though that they probably can't do it to the same degree as what I can possibly do it. That's the only way that you're going to be able to scale whatever you're working on and whatever you're going to do. You need to figure out, it's an inferior product typically when you get somebody else to do it. It's often not a better product than what you can do it yourself. But you have to figure out how you can get other people involved and figure out what is the incentive scheme, what's it going to look like to get people to be involved, even though that you know that you can do it better yourself. But then realizing that it doesn't have to be perfect, and that's a real challenge for me. Because I do see a lot of things, and it's frustrating for me, to be honest, to be like, why can't you get this, right? Like, why is this not sort of at the same sort of level? Like, so for example, somebody might clean my house, right? And they might not clean it to the same extent. They might not see things. Honestly, they probably don't care as much as you, but that is okay, right? Like, that is where you need to let go and sort of let chips fall where they may, right? Like, realizing that you don't have to do everything, realizing it's other people's responsibility. That is a challenge to come to terms with. I am not only a sort of a perfectionist kind of person, I'm very empathetic, and I want to help other people, very much so, right? Like, that's what the whole Reciprocity Project actually is me wanting to help other people. So I have to come to terms with, you know what? That's their prerogative, and they're the ones that are going to have to deal with it, and that's fine, right? If they choose not to use the resources that I personally provide, or build this whole platform, right? The editing platform. It works really well, actually. I use it on a regular basis. And if people choose not to use it, well, that's their prerogative. It's not my fault. I need to figure out a way to make it so it's clearer, but it's really not my fault in terms of coming to terms with why they might choose not to do something, right? So you need to think about how you can get to the moment where people will naturally choose to do something on their own accord and do it happily. I know that is a hard thing for us to come to terms with. That's really what it is. You can't force other people to do things. You can't. There's no way you can. But you can get the conditions such that they are willing to do it themselves and pick up and actually take charge themselves. So I think that is an important lesson as you go about scaling things in your life and dealing with things in your own life, is to think about how you can let go and realize you can't do it all. You just can't. And look at the moments of where you can let go and do things that other people, get other people to do the things for you, whatever that might look like. So with that, leave some comments on the old pod. I do appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful day.